So scrolling back up here to the top, we'll begin a demonstration of how to run a quote and how this feeds into an application. Starting with the state, click Get a Quote. We're going to make this a 34-year-old male, non-tobacco. We like to set an expectation that we can hopefully beat by starting with a preferred underwriting class in the quote. And then this page is going to bring up some recommended options. This is essentially walking your client up to the door, allowing them to analyze some things about the differences between the options, and then they'll hopefully walk through it themselves once they do that gauging of benefit to value. I like to start with this middle one because it's a nice sweet spot of offering $250,000, typically taking care of any mortgage concerns. We're on a 20-year coverage period, 20,000 critical illness, 2,500 DI rider. It's going to do a couple of initial qualification questions for that DI rider, making sure that they do meet the full-time qualification and putting on any limitations that would come from being self-employed or working for the railroad or being a state or federal government employee. So we'll just go ahead and click no for those. However, this is a good place to show you the reflexive questioning inherent in the platform. So if I were a government employee, it would then know to ask me what type of government employee, because there are different limits for both federal and state, and it's smart enough to bake those in. So now we've come to the actual customization of the quote, where you can dial things in, make changes to meet your client's actual needs. So we're starting out at this 250,000. Well, let's say that he's actually got 300,000 left on his mortgage with that roughly 15 to 20 years on that mortgage term. You can see that this immediately updated. I think it added roughly $3, going from $63 to $66 per month. And it will continue to do all that as you update the coverage period. It'll update the premium. All of that can be easily dialed in to what your client is looking for in a policy. Then you have a couple of different options as an agent. You can either send this quote, which will allow you to enter in the email address of the prospect that you're trying to send this to. It'll also ask you for your contact info so that they know who to reach back out to if they want to move forward. Or if you're sitting there with the client on the phone, however you'd like to proceed, you can jump right into the application. This will then ask a few very high-level pre-qualification health questions. We're talking about very recent cancer history, mental nervous, cardiovascular, 2 of 6 ADLs, and then narcotic prescription, anything of that nature, drug abuse. Furthermore, we're going to be asking about citizenship and active duty or plans to be active duty. And where you'll see with the citizenship, it doesn't necessarily need to be a citizen. We will accept permanent resident status in the United States through green card holders and the like. And then the active duty questions would need to be answered no. With all that being answered, you should hopefully get this particular message. Congratulations, you're now ready to move forward with the actual application. And from there, it's actually now going to ask you as the agent to sign in with your AssureLink username and password. If this page does not look familiar to you, you likely don't have your user name and password for AssureLink set up yet. So please reach out to your regional wholesaler to get that set up, walk through the instructions to make sure you've got the tools that you need to write the business. After you've logged in with your username and password, it'll redirect you right into the quick start site for the application itself, collecting the contact info, beneficiary info, the health questionnaire itself, obviously. And then once all of that is completed, it'll also ask for the payment info, at which point it'll be sent to the client to DocuSign, click to sign, and then it'll be emailed back to you as the agent to then click to sign, where you'll then submit it. Once submitted, our digital underwriter will do its process that I spoke through earlier, where it's going to be gathering those data points, building that risk classification score, and hopefully within roughly 15 to 30 minutes coming back to you with that instant decision and hopefully the approval indicating to you that the delivery requirements are going to be emailed out to you and the client, where you can then complete those delivery requirements, send it back to us, and we'll very quickly issue that policy, all in a very, very efficient, quick process where we're then taking payment within roughly 48 hours after the fact. That is about as quick as we can possibly make it. So I hope that's going to be the efficient process that you and your clients are looking for. However, we do know that a lot of our partners do their